It's good morning, Dominic Byrne. Welcome to Yellow Shelf.
Thank you very much, Joe. Thanks for having me on. It's my first podcast.
Ah, awesome. Well, we're nice and short and sweet here because Yellow Shelf, we like to hear, about the book and then the reasons, what inspired you, and obviously the journey of that book and how to connect with you in the book.
Yeah,
Your book, congratulations, it's out now, it's
yeah,
available now.
yeah,
The
yeah.
Foundations of Feeling Good. Tell us all about the book, Dom.
In 2022, I got into a massive emotional rut, grief, burnout, depression, and I had to rebuild myself from scratch. And the book just details all the ingredients of how I did that. So, developing a thirst for knowledge, finding discipline that I knew was inside me that I've had before, and reviving it and using it for wellness, dropping bad habits and acquiring healthy ones, ending my relationship with alcohol, which was massive. I've got a whole chapter on that.
Yeah.
Focusing on nutrition, moving my body, and really pushing my body, and treating my body like it's the last one that I've got,
Yeah,
which it is,
yeah.
right? Practicing mindfulness,
Yeah.
finding ways to rest my body, mind, and soul, sleeping better, waking up earlier, working through the obstacle of trauma to not just get back to where I was,
Yeah.
um, but go through that and even sort of be in an elevated position than I was sort of pre-trauma, letting go of emotions that were blocking my happiness, and then finding and creating and working on my purpose. So that's
Yeah.
yeah, that's essentially what the book is about.
And Dom, I kind of did some research in the lead up to this. I think you and I are about the same age. So we've
Yeah,
grown up in the same sort of generations where, we just kind of get on with it. We see our parents and those around us get on with it. And then life starts to throw curveballs at you.
yeah,
Life throws, and you don't think it's coming, and you don't ever think it's going to happen to you. And then things start to happen.
yeah,
Dom, you are also a professional athlete. So I'm going to touch on the fact that you have gone on this journey, trauma, grief, you know, self-awareness. What do you want to tell us about you and your journey and
sure,
what it was
sure,
like?
sure. Well, I mean, the reason I sort of came back to actually writing the book is while I was going through this healing journey, I was consciously aware of my younger sibling and her going through her own trauma and issues. And I thought, and you can't just ring up a friend or a sibling and say, "Hey, do this or do that." They'll tell you to get nicked.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what? I'll create like a guide of all the things that are working for me and working really, really well. And then I can sort of position that as, "Hey, I've written all these things and all these ingredients that are working. Have a read and see what you think." And she just got so much out of it, and her partner as well. And he gave me this amazing comment saying this should be on everyone's bedside table. And so
Yeah.
by the time the family, a few other family members and a couple of friends got access to it, they convinced me to turn into a book. But my actual love of writing, I've always enjoyed writing, even through university and school, and ever given the opportunity to do creative writing, I'd always enjoy that. But when my wife, she got diagnosed with cancer in June 2017, and it was so aggressive that within 18 months, she'd passed away. But at the beginning of that journey, she came and asked me and said, "Hey, do you think I should tell everybody that I've got cancer and be transparent about this, or should I, keep it to the family?" And I said, "I'm a very closed person. I would sort of keep it quiet, but you have to do what you feels right for you." And so she's like, "Actually, I need to get it out there." And so she decided to put it out in social straight away. And then she even decided, you know what, I want to even have a narrative around this. I know that she wanted to be a success story, and by having a documenting the journey, and she said, let's create a blog and we can talk about my treatment and the approach and that kind of stuff. And I was like fully supportive of it. Let's create the blog. She got so sick so quickly that she wrote maybe one or two posts, and I had to take over the posts. And then I just got this really therapeutic feeling about thinking about this situation, writing about it, detailing what was going on. And then that just evolved. And particularly, we went over to Germany to try and find some treatments over there for because we'd run out of options in Australia. So having that while we're away and talking about that was an opportunity for people to read what was going on and offer all this amazing support to Lou. And we even use that as a platform for fundraising to be in Germany and to do all these treatment options. And then because I got so much out of it, I just continued to write. And so then it became about being a single parent to my
Yeah.
children and the challenges that imposed. I had a 3 and a 5-year-old.
Wow.
Learning to be on my own with the kids
Yeah.
was a challenge, trying to keep my business alive. So I started writing about that. It was more about an archive for the kids to understand how much they were loved and stuff like that. And then it rolled into just all the wellness stuff I've been writing about. So, and then I guess that's what's ended up sort of dwarfing into a book that we have today.
Yeah. Well done. I mean, I think you said in an interview recently I read, writing about yourself isn't easy. Even if you enjoy writing about your journey and putting it out there, you mentioned you're closed,
Yeah,
you like privacy. And I think that's really powerful to share
yeah,
the backstory of the
sure,
book.
sure.
Um, I
Yeah, and to get back to your question on the athlete part,
yeah.
I mean that's just I touch on that in the book just purely from a discipline perspective,
Okay.
because when you're a professional athlete, you're at your most disciplined you are in your life. And so I
Yeah.
spent about 4 or 5 years being paid to play rugby and traveling the world and that kind of stuff, representing my country and all these really cool things. And I just felt when I needed to heal and get better and make sure these ingredients work, I had to really dig deep and become disciplined again. And that in turn has given me a whole lot of freedom, and it's been able to change all my habits and get me moving. So yeah, so that discipline part was the professional athlete part of that, which has been it's been a huge base and a pillar for me to be able just to keep going, as well as just writing the book, right? You need
Yeah,
discipline
yeah, the discipline.
to get it
Yeah.
all together. So yeah, that's that part of the question for sure as well.
And look, that is, sometimes we're able to reach back in for what
Yeah,
we already have, and other times we need to find it externally. So
sure,
well
sure.
done on the book. I mean, when I look at the visual of the book, which is behind you, the front
Yeah,
cover,
yeah, yeah,
very powerful, like images.
yeah.
Do you want to tell me about the choice around that? I think I'm a visual learner, I'm a visual
Yeah.
person, so I loved that.
So there's a huge element of the book. I've taken a bit of a look through a philosophical perspective in each chapter. When I was at my lowest, I was gifted 2 books, one by my dad and one by my sister. And the book my dad gave me was all on Stoicism. It was by Bridget Delaney, called Reasons Not to Worry, an Australian author. And that book just set me on a bit of a path to learn more. But the Stoicism element I got really into, and I've read now about 20 books on Stoicism. And Stoicism, to sum it up in a very short sort of way, is that we don't control what happens to us, but we get to control how we respond.
Yeah.
And in that response, they say we have to respond with virtue. And these 4 symbols make up what their virtue is in
Okay.
Stoicism: and courage, justice, temperance, and wisdom. So hence courage for the lion, justice for the scales, temperance for the lotus flower, and wisdom there for the owl.
Wow.
So with all those pillars together, those elements that make up Stoicism, if we all responded in that way,
Yeah.
then the world would be a much better place, and you would be at peace with yourself and into what the Stoics call eudaimonia.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
great. I love the front cover. I love red yeah, it
The,
was great.
the kids did most of the designing. So my kids
Ah,
were
that's
12,
great.
7 and 13. And we came up with a few options. We went into the bookshop and I took photos of about 6 or 7 books that I loved the look of
Yeah.
that stood out. And then I had a couple of design options. I've actually got this tattooed on my down the right
Ah.
hand side of my torso. It takes up a lot of the torso. And so I already had designed that previously. And I
Yeah.
had a few other design ideas.
Yeah.
And then we put it to the design and they came back with options. And from there, the kids made every decision. They made the decision on which way to go, the colors, the fonts, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Collaborative,
That's
collaborative function between the kids and I and the publisher.
That's so special. That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah,
Dom, if we're interested in connecting with you, if we're
yep,
interested in the book, I will
yep,
put it in the show notes of this
sure,
interview.
sure,
How do we connect with you? Point us
sure.
in the direction, Instagram, like where do you want us to go?
Yeah. So the foundations are feeling good. The title, I now have a Facebook and an Instagram handle, which is exactly the same.
Yep.
So if you search that title, it's going to come up, particularly with my name, Dominic Byrne. And now it's available in every retailer, online retailer that you can think of. Booktopia, Dimmicks, Angus and Robinson, Amazon,
Yep.
Kobo, Walmart, Apple Books. There's an ebook and a physical book available.
Yep.
So you can reach me on my social handles and via my name, and then just by Googling the title of the book, you'll see it. It'll be the first 5 or 6 listings on Google, and you can choose where you decide to get it. And any books will get it for you very, very quickly as well.
Yeah. Look, I'll put some links in. Would you write again? I know it's really like so
Yeah,
fresh
yeah.
and new, but
Well,
you mentioned you love that process. Do you think
yeah.
that would be possible?
I think that I will. I will continue to write anyway. I'll continue to do a monthly
Yeah.
post on the blog and just use that as my therapeutic outlet. I started journaling a couple of years, so I'll continue to write in that respect. In regards to another book, I think that I probably will. I'm in no rush to do so. A few people have told me that I should just do some other authors. I should just do a memoir. They said that I've got enough in my enough of a story to tell. So that might be an option. Another couple of people told me, because I'm trying to do these 50 challenges by the time I turn 50, which is only in a couple of years' time. And I'm about 20 of the way through those, and there's all different kinds of ones in there. And
Yeah.
someone said that could actually be a book as well. So I think I will write a book again.
Yeah.
When I do, and what it is, it's yet to be determined, but I do
Yep.
enjoy the process, and it'll
Yeah.
happen.
Well, enjoy this one.
Yeah,
I want people to read it. I want people to send you a message
yeah,
and
great.
connect with you.
Yeah,
Dominic, those future books, because I think they'll probably come.
yeah.
Please come back and share with Yellow Shelf.
Oh, I'd love to. You've been my first podcast. It's been a great experience.
Dom, all the best.
Thanks,
Cheers.
Joe. Yeah, see you
Bye.
later.